I'm going to do something in this video that I don't normally do, that is be introspective. I don't usually like to go on about myself because who the hell cares? I prefer to talk about other things. I talk about myself in relation to other things. I talk about myself as I relate to other things, whether they're ideas or experiences or catastrophes or ideologies or forms of belief or faith. But I don't usually just go on about myself like I'm about to for the next few minutes. So word of warning, if that doesn't sound interesting to you, no problem. Don't watch this video. Everybody else, hang on for dear life, because you're going to have a few minutes of real self-indulgence to experience. So, a long time ago, I took the Myers-Briggs test, and it turned out I was an INTJ. Excuse me for a minute.
Hello, would you like to try a new crispy chicken sandwich today? Order when you're ready.
I wonder if anybody's really there. Yes, hi, can you hear me? Hello?
Hey, for 2 minutes, how can I help you?
Hi, let me get a large iced tea, half cut with no ice. And I'd also like a large cup of water.
Anything else?
That'll do it. Thanks. So I took the Myers-Briggs test. I don't know how many years ago this was. And just for fun, and I know the test has its doubters. I know the test has its its adherents who think that it really does reveal something about the human condition, and I know that it also has people who say, it's just it's overrated, or it doesn't really measure the things that it claims to measure, or what have you. So I took it and found I was an INTJ. Introspective, God, I can't remember what the other ones are, other than judgment. Those of you who know I don't really know the test very well, but and I don't really know the metrics of assessment even all that well. I don't even know the categories all that well. I do know that I'm very much an introvert as opposed to an extrovert. But the other letters seem to be crucially important as far as understanding this personality type. Anyhow, when I took the test and I got that diagnosis, I thought, that's interesting. Yeah, that kind of sounds like me, and then didn't really think about it very much. And that was years ago. But and this is the self-indulgent introspection that I'm going to indulge in here. All of my life, I can say, from the time when I was from at least adolescence onwards, maybe even before adolescence, but it became most painfully evident during adolescence, and it only slightly leveled off as far as the level of awkwardness and I don't know, feeling of being misunderstood, feeling of alienation. I find that when I have been in crowds of people or among other people, whether I'm a teacher teaching a class, whether I'm a student, as part of a class, or if I'm on some kind of team, anytime I'm in a group of people, not any time, but almost every time I'm in a group of people, I find that they ultimately see me in a certain way that I think is unfair and that hurts me and makes me feel misunderstood. And that is what the conclusions that they come to about me are that I'm too serious. I never smile, and that I'm not very friendly. I'm not very welcoming. I'm not. I don't know. I just always act like I don't want to be there. Oftentimes I don't want to be there, but that's another story. Yeah. I probably with the order tonight. Good. Okay. So, you're about to get the tea, literally. Thanks.
Sir, good project go through for your drinks.
Oh, here, try this one. I think that's the wrong card.
There you go.
Try this one.
He said try that one. Press that button again, Rita.
This is so typical. I'll tell y'all what happened. What just happened in a minute. All right. So what just happened, and this in a weird way really reflects on what I'm talking about here. I had lost this card, this check card, a while ago, or I thought I'd lost it, and I apparently found it again and put it in my bag where I keep my check cards, and it without knowing that it was an old check card that has since been canceled. So it didn't go through the first time when I gave them my check card. And it's just sort of like one of those things that just confirms, yep, you're not really a part of the human race. You rub people the wrong way. You give people the wrong card. You give people this impression of you that makes them angry with you. You heard their voices back there. Yes, but you had the wrong card. The card didn't go through. So, what was I saying? How do I relate back to what I was saying? I really think that experience I just had with where I, again, what happened was I gave them the wrong card inadvertently and didn't go through. And I mean, I don't hold it against them for telling me that it didn't go through, but the tone of voice and just their way of reacting to me seemed very, again, par for the course. And since I'm being self-indulgent, since I'm giving myself permission to be self-indulgent in this video, it does have the effect of making you feel like people around you are just always fed up with you, right? They're always just like, why can't you be more fill in the blank? Why can't you be more friendly? Why can't you be more, why can't you smile more? Why do you have to be so serious? Why do you always have to come across this way? Like you're like some quiet people. You know, there are quiet people out there who are very sweet and come across as sweet,
and it's just like, oh, well, that person's usually, I guess it's a woman. She's a little quiet, but she's a real sweetheart. When I'm quiet, I don't ever come across as a sweetheart. It's always like, why isn't that person talking to me? And by the way, haha, metaphor, you're getting the tea right now. You're getting the tea. Anyway, it's always like, why isn't he more friendly? Why isn't he more outgoing? Why does he always seem like he's not having a good time? Why does he never smile? The thing about never smiling is I guess I don't smile a whole lot when I'm around other people in social settings. I guess I don't. But I don't really smile. I don't like to fake my emotions. So, I mean, if something strikes me as smile worthy, I'll smile. If something strikes me as funny, I will laugh. It's not like I'm holding myself back. But somehow the non-smiling aspect of my personality really shines through, so that when people just think of me, they just think of me doing that all the time. All the time. That's Andy. That's Nowicki. That's who he is. I had a job. I'm not going to be too. Well, it was a teaching job. I'll tell you that much. And my supervisor once said, you gotta change this aspect of your teaching style. You gotta be more approachable. You've got to convey this sense of approachability more. You've got to, go out of your way more, or I don't know. I didn't think that I wasn't. I don't think I was unapproachable. I don't think I was ever somebody who. I think I've always been fair-minded, because that is a big priority for me. But it was like the way he was talking was, you just have to change your personality. You have to become a different person. The way you are right now, it's like the very opposite of the whole, just be yourself. It's like, no, don't be yourself. And the thing about it was, and I think that the supervisor had an agenda with, what he was saying when he was saying these things. He was kind of flexing his muscles. He was somebody who maybe didn't really like the fact that I had been hired in the first place. There was some politics behind all of this. But the thing is, it was something that I have heard over and over again, situation after situation. When I was in school, and I was having problems with other kids, or what have you, and I wasn't sociable. I wasn't being sociable. I would have people getting on my case, my parents getting on my case about not being sociable enough, and it was always this: you're not the way you are, the way you behave around other people. You need to change that. You need to be different. And it wasn't. I could understand that if I was somebody who was not just going around generally minding his own business most of the time. But I'm not an intrusive person. I'm not someone who wants to pry into other people's affairs or give people unasked for words of wisdom. I would just go about my routine, being myself, which meant not really being sociable most of the time. And some people can, some people can do that, and it's just like, oh, he's so shy. but he's a nice guy. But for me, it was never that way. It was never. He's so reserved. So he must be shy. It was always he's so reserved. He must really hate to be around other people. He must really despise other people. He's just having him in our midst just really makes us uncomfortable because he's so why can't he just loosen up, man? He needs to loosen up. Loosen up, smile more, maybe crack a joke. These are the kind of this is what I was always hearing. And it was very frustrating. It was frustrating from the get-go. It was frustrating from the time when I was, an adolescent. Not that, adolescence is, can be frustrating enough on its own, but just to feel like this, to feel like me just going around, being who I was somehow bad. And it was like either it was bad because it was of the effect that it was having on other people, because other people were responding to me as if I were judging them, or as if I were down on them, as if I were harboring unfriendly thoughts towards them. This is what I would be told. So it would either be for the sake of other people, or it would be like, this is how you need to change because, for your own good. You need to be different because the way you are right now, the way you're being right now, is making you miserable. And you need to change. You need to get out of your shell. You need to... I remember once being told by somebody, I'm not going to say who it was, that to say hi to at least 5 people every day. This person really thought they were helping me. Say hi to at least 5 people every day. Can you not see how contrived, how ridiculously contrived that sounds? Like, hi! person I have no reason to greet. Hi! Oh, now I've done my quota for the day. Now I can go back to being myself again. It was just silly. It was ridiculous. But it was very strange looking back in retrospect. It's very strange to me that my personality was seen as so off-putting when I really wasn't somebody who got in the way of what anybody else was doing. I would have opinions, right? I would express opinions in class or wherever. I would express my ideas sometimes. But I don't know, it was always like, and it continued to be this way, like going from student life into work life, into social life. Never so much was a problem in a one-on-one situation with another, with somebody who I thought of as a friend who I liked and trusted. I don't think there was ever any there in situations like that. There was never this this critique of my behavior or of my demeanor that kept floating around. The way that there always seemed to be, I always seem to have people critiquing me
critiquing my behavior, critiquing my demeanor, critiquing me for not smiling enough, for being too quiet, for not seeming friendly enough, for not I already said not smiling enough. And it's like, it was like, I don't know. I think what's strange about it in retrospect is, why did it matter so much? I'm not saying it was the hugest thing in the world to all these people, but I did often get the impression that if I were in the midst of a group of people, that me being there, you know, raised their discomfort level. I would often feel as though, there was one terrible event that really reinforced this, where this girl invited me to her birthday party when I was new at this new high school, and it became clear that I was just like a charity invite because I was so quiet and shy. I was so, it was like, let's give Andy a little bit of a chance to be sociable, and let's be nice to him. I know he kind of freaks us out, and he's we don't really like him, and his demeanor puts us off. But let's be nice to him. So I was there at this party, and it was very clear to me that everybody else who was at the party were people that this girl knew and was friends with, and and then there was me. I was there among them, and I have often felt that way, and maybe some of it's me being grandiose, but I don't know. I'm someone who's pretty content in most social situations to just sink into the woodwork. I don't have to be the center of attention. I don't want to be the center of attention. And yet, it's like me just being there, being around, being who I am, acting the way that I act. And not being loud and obnoxious, and not being somebody who's always getting in people's faces either, but just being quiet, reserved, but somehow me being quiet and reserved sent out these vibes to others often, that I was somebody who that I was an irritant to be around. Choose ice thoughtfully. So, this has been the story of my life, pretty much, when I'm in social situations, even now. And, if I've gone this far, and it's still the story of my